Imagine a force so vast it could circle the globe, so advanced it could strike from space, and so well-funded it outspends entire continents. Just how colossal is the U.S. military, and what secrets does its dominance hold in a world of rising powers? Buckle up as we dive into the jaw-dropping scale, cutting-edge tech, and strategic brilliance that keep the U.S. ahead of the pack while uncovering the cracks that could challenge its reign. The U.S. military isn't just big, it's a global titan. With a budget dwarfing entire economies and a reach spanning land, sea, air, and space. It's a force unlike any other. But how does it stack up against rivals like China and Russia? And what's driving its evolution in a rapidly changing world? Let's break it down with hard numbers, mind-blowing tech, and a glimpse into its future. The scale of the U.S. military. The U.S. military boasts 1.3 million active duty personnel, placing it among the world's largest, though it trails China's 2.03 million and India's 1.45 million. But numbers alone don't tell the story. With a population of just 336 million less than a quarter of China or India, the U.S. has a far higher per capita military presence. Its active personnel ratio is nearly triple that of its rivals, signaling a level of militarization that punches above its demographic weight. Now, let's talk money. In 2024, the U.S. military budget hit a staggering $900 billion to 40% of the world's total defense spending. That's more than the next 10 countries combined, including China, $296 billion, Russia, $84 billion, and India, $74 billion. Even when adjusted for purchasing power, the U.S. outspends the next 5 nations combined. Yet, this massive figure is only 3.4% of its GDP, a sharp drop from 10% during the Vietnam War or 14% during the Korean War. The U.S. economy has grown so vast that its military spending, while colossal in absolute terms, is relatively modest compared to historical peaks. The branch is a multi-domain powerhouse. The U.S. Armed Forces comprise 6 branches: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and the Space Force. Each is a juggernaut in its own right. U.S. Army. The Army, with 450,000 active troops and 518,000 reservists including the National Guard and Army Reserve, is the backbone of U.S. land power. Its arsenal includes 4,600 M1 Abrams tanks, a battle-tested behemoth that's outshone rivals like Russia's T-90 in conflicts like Ukraine. The Abrams' advanced electronics and cost efficiency make it a cornerstone of modern warfare. Add to that 6,100 M2 and M3 Bradley vehicles with their SATA-2 thermal optics and 25mm odd cannons, and 4,200 Stryker vehicles, now testing 50-kilowatt laser defenses. The Army's 125,000-plus wheeled vehicles, including 40% mine-resistant Humvees, ensure unmatched mobility and firepower. U.S. Air Force, with 320,000 active personnel and 5,200 aircraft, the Air Force dominates the skies. Its 1,500 fighter jets include 789 F-16Cs, 430 F-15s, 178 F-22 Raptors, and 116 F-35s. The F-22's stealth and agility outclass China's J-20 and Russia's Su-57, while the F-35's versatility switching between stealth and beast mode, with 16 missiles sets a global standard. The Air Force's 677 transport jets and 213 helicopters, part of a 5,700-strong helicopter fleet, give it unmatched logistical reach. U.S. Navy. The Navy, with 335,000 personnel, rules the seas with 11 aircraft carriers more than the rest of the world combined. Its Gerald R. Ford-class carriers, equipped with electromagnetic launch systems (EMALS), boost sortie rates by 33% over Nimitz-class ships, with 75 destroyers, 64 submarines, and 9 helicopter carriers. The Navy projects power across the Pacific and Indian Oceans, keeping rivals like China to carriers and Russia one carrier at bay. Nuclear reactors and advanced arresting gear ensure these floating fortresses can operate indefinitely. The Marine Corps and Space Force. Evolving for the future. The Marine Corps, with 180,000 personnel, is pivoting to counter China's naval ambitions. Its force design initiative scraps heavy armor like the M1 Abrams for mobile, missile-based systems like NMESIS, designed to sink billion-dollar ships with $1.5 million missiles. This leaner, literal-focused approach frees up $12 billion for reinvestment, while maintaining lethal precision. The Space Force, launched in 2019, is the smallest branch at 16,000 personnel, but critical for the future. It oversees 250 military satellites, half the world's total, providing real-time recon and communication. The X-37B spaceplane enhances satellite stealth, ensuring U.S. dominance in the new space race. Challenges and adaptations. Despite its might, the U.S. military faces hurdles. Recruitment has plummeted, with a 40% drop in enlistees since 1987, and a shortfall of 10,000 to 15,000 recruits annually. Only 10% of 16 to 21-year-olds show interest in serving, and 80% of recruits come from military families, making it a family business. With no drafts since 1973, the military is shrinking. Yet, it's adapting by leaning on technology, drones, AI, and unmanned systems to offset manpower shortages. The Marines' downsizing and the Navy's reduced crew requirements signal a shift toward efficiency, global context, and future outlook. The U.S. military's edge lies in its alliances. NATO and the Quad, including Japan and India, amplify its reach, allowing it to counter China and Russia without needing total dominance. Technological superiority, F-35s, Ford-class carriers, and Space Force assets keeps rivals lagging. Looking ahead, the U.S. will likely invest further in cyber warfare, drones, and space tech, balancing a smaller force with smarter systems. But as global tensions rise, will this be enough to maintain its lead? The U.S. military's scale, innovation, and alliances make it a global colossus, but challenges like recruitment and evolving threats demand constant adaptation. What's next for this powerhouse? Share your thoughts below, and check out our videos on global military powers, or dive deeper into U.S. tech advancements.